So this is the first time I'm doing this with reading glasses, but welcome to your 50s. That's all I'm going to say. Welcome to your 50s. Anyway, so good evening, everyone. Welcome to an evening of gratitude. When I look around the room, I don't just see supporters. I see people who helped us build this. If I can have Kelly come up here, and my mom, and Mason, and Kenzie, or they all go, come on in. Oh, of course she sat in the back of the room.
I got away.
Jake, come on. So this is my wife, Kelly. For those of you who do not know her, this is my mother, Judy, our son, Mason, daughter, Mackenzie, aka Kenzie, and our son-in-law, Jake. I also would love if our board of directors could come up. Chrissy King, our president, Melissa Schneider, Stephanie Sobach, Mary Reindl, bride, Carly Lewis, and Hawken Anderson. They volunteer their time, their expertise, and their hearts to ensure that we stay focused, responsible, and mission-driven. On February 19th, 2024, just 2 years ago this week, we decided to give this a go. We registered Morgan's Caring Connection with one clear vision: to provide trusted resources through a vetted network of professionals, to provide accessible education statewide, especially in rural communities, and to provide funding so families could afford estate planning, legal fees, and finally have peace of mind about their child's futures. We created this because we lived it. We knew if we felt the gap, other families were feeling it too. On August 1st, we awarded our very first grant in 2024. 2 days later, we held our first fundraising event and raised $16,400. We looked at each other and thought, maybe this is bigger than we imagined. Going into 2025, we set what we felt like an ambitious goal: award 5 grants. 5. Instead, here's what this community did. We established 27 community partners, completed 9 events, 6 of them major fundraisers, logged nearly 1,400 volunteer hours valued at over $52,000. We grew our professional network to 58 trusted experts. We supported 103 families, awarded 20 grants totaling $68,000, secured nearly $70,000 in in-kind support, and raised over $314,000, with only $18,500 coming from traditional grants, which $15,000 of that came in December of last year. So that means this wasn't powered by institutions, it was powered by people, by small businesses, by sponsors, by volunteers, by donors, by this room. You just didn't support MCC, you built us. At this point, if everybody wants to go ahead and sit down, thank you again. So before I go any further, I would like you to hear this directly from someone whose life has been impacted by the mission. Numbers are important, but stories are what remind us of what we do. When we talk about 20 grants or 103 families supported, that's not data, that's real That's real parents, real children, real futures being secured. So it's my honor to introduce someone who entrusted us with her story and allowed us to walk alongside her family through this process. Please join me in welcoming Candy Bullflyer.
All right. Glad everybody is here tonight. It's good to see some of the people behind the scenes. I'm Candy Wolfmeyer, like Jana said. I'm a mother of 2 high support needs autistic daughters. Sharon is 18 and Leah is 16. And a Morgan's Caring Connection grant recipient for estate and guardianship. I wanted to talk about the complexity of navigating the system of support for special needs individuals and why Morgan's Caring Connection is vitally important to our family. I am going to entertain you with a scenario. Imagine that it's the day before you are running a marathon. However, your cabinet from overseas is in. It's early enough that you can rest most of the day. You start off to the store only to be met with rush hour on a road similar to John Olin right now. It takes a lot longer and you are very frustrated. You finally have your cabinets. The drive home is much better. Things are looking up. You get home, ready to unload. Your neighbor with her Louis Vuitton, Starbucks, and pet monkey, which you're pretty sure is illegal, and her boyfriend, you might low-key resent her. They are staring after you as you lug this cabinet in. You get it opened, sort what seems like 900 pieces out, and find the hex key that was provided. You grab the instructions and realize they are in a completely different language. And if it was my daughter's language, you'd be like, really? Bruh. You would rather chew your own arm off than to go down that road again. So you download the English version on your smartphone. You get ready to dive in when you hear, "No, Iris!" coming from your neighbor. You scramble to see what's going on. You realize you left the door open. And you peek out. Your neighbor tells you that her monkey is in your house. Okay, I lost my place, sorry. Okay. But you realize you left, okay. Your neighbor tells you the monkey's okay. You ran back to your project. The monkey has managed to disarray all the pieces. You were gone less than a minute. How could that happen? She's in the corner with your hex key, peeing. Rude. You finally wrestle the hex key from her and return the creature to the neighbor. You manage to get this cabinet together. It's after supper. You're exhausted, overwhelmed, frustrated, and remember, you have a marathon tomorrow. This is a Groundhog Day situation. And for you younger folks, that's a movie reference from the 1900s. Where the day is repeated over and over again. That's navigating the system. Now as for the rest, I can sum up by saying, I've had 9 knee surgeries. I started calling them my vacation. Sorry. 3 months prior to me calling Morgan's Caring Connection, my husband had a bilateral cerebellar stroke, and my youngest had her wisdom teeth out. Same day. I was on a road going nowhere, frustrated, overwhelmed, and extremely seized by anxiety. I didn't know if they would take me on because I was late to the process. We need 6 months. I called her at 5. I only had 5 months left to do it. When I talked to Janice, she rerouted me. Gave me a new path forward. Through MCC, I wasn't carrying a huge weight by myself. They gave me resources and help. Gave me instructions that I understood. Helped me sort through the pieces of the process. And the only thing that MCC didn't help me with was the Ira situation. I asked, Janice politely declined. I am extremely grateful to MCC and those who I was connected with. I know that I can tackle that marathon ahead of me because I have a fabulous coach. On a personal note, we need help because special needs parents are like soldiers on a battlefield. And some of us are naked and exposed. We don't have anything. And we show up to the front lines anyway to fight for our kids. We show up battered and bruised and broken, and we're there and we pick up the sword anyway. And we need somebody alongside of us to help. And we are one of our biggest fears is who's going to pick up the sword when I'm gone? Who's going to fight for my babies? And that's why this work is so vitally important. So that we have somebody, we have it together, and we have a plan. So thank you to those who are fighting for us, alongside us. And thank you to MCC for putting it together. Thank you.
So that's why we do this. And this is why sustainability matters. This is why, even when funding is being cut in our communities, we are not slowing down. We are leaning in. In October 2025, we took a major step forward and launched the Family Support Giving Fund. We knew sustainability had to be intentional. We knew funding landscapes shifted, and we knew families could not be left vulnerable when they do. That decision positioned us for what we are facing now, because funding for families in our community is being cut dramatically, and the need is not shrinking, it's growing. So for 2026, we set a bold but necessary goal, award a minimum of 20 grants again, and sustain that level of impact. And here's what's remarkable. This Thursday, we awarded our first grant. We have 5 families working with attorneys right now, and 5 more applications will be approved in our March board meeting for pending funding. That puts us at 11 for the year. If our goal was to sustain 20 grants this year, we're already halfway there. Halfway there. That momentum isn't accidental, it's community. And we continue to expand access. In December, a partner approached me about launching a webinar program. Elizabeth, where are you in the room? There we go. So instead of duplicating efforts, we collaborated. 2 weeks later, our education webinar program launched. It's now scheduled through March of 2027. We've already completed 2 webinars and are reaching caregivers across counties that we never touched before. That's impact. But what moves us most isn't the numbers. It's the parents who say, I've been too intimidated to start, but now I feel empowered. It's the caregivers who say, I can finally breathe. It's knowing that somewhere tonight the family is sleeping better because they now have a plan. That is peace of mind. And that is because all of you. Morgan's Caring Connection is only 2 years old, but it no longer feels small. It feels like a movement that says families raising special needs dependents deserve security. They deserve guidance, they deserve community, and they should never navigate this alone. You took something born of grief and helped us turn it into hope. You took uncertainty and helped us build stability. And you proved that when a community comes together with purpose and impact, multiplies far beyond what any one family could have imagined. On behalf of our family, our board, and every family whose future is more secure because of this room, thank you. The need is growing, the momentum is real, and the best is still ahead. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. On that note, I want to drink. Anyway, I couldn't say it more. Thank you all very much from the bottom of our hearts. Again, I say it all the time when people thank me for what I'm doing. I continuously remind them that it is the community. And I cannot say that enough, and I mean that wholeheartedly. So again, thank you all very much for coming this evening, and I really can't thank you all enough. Thank you.
People wearing
Do you need it? Do you need it a little bit? Are you sure?
Make it
Public speaking. So much fun. You did great.